So, good morning, everyone. Lately, apart from OpenAI, there were so many other companies that were launching their news in terms of generative AI. But the video of today is focused on the main news presented by Google. So, first of all, let's introduce the main GPT-4 Omni competitor, which is Gemini 1.5 Pro. And what do you think is special, Peter? What's the main difference?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see these big companies coming out now with completely different strategies. And maybe we should have a video about that at some point in time. But for Gemini, let's talk maybe potentially about this one. First, 2 million tokens. So that is something really special. I think that the token size grows. And I mean, we want to discuss what does this mean for the industry, right? Because obviously from a private perspective, it's interesting to have longer conversations. Yeah? The models, the foundation models in this case, will then pick up on conversations you had in the past because it can read it in through every prompt. Basically, it looks at the past as well because of this big context window. But for industry, it's even more interesting because 2 million is huge, right? And that's something special about that model. But for industry, it's really because you can have a chain of reasoning in these models, making it much more complex what they can do. Having also, for example, recipe configurations, or repair instructions building upon each other, having lessons learned packed into those prompts, to make it better. So I think really this having a bigger context is kind of like a memory, which these foundation models can use, leveraging already available knowledge. So I think that's great. And just another thing, which I think is really interesting, when you look at the price, 3.5 US dollars per 1 million token for the standard 1.5 Pro model of Google. But they have another one, Gemini 1.5 Flash, which is much cheaper, a tenth of the cost. And this is really interesting. Also, these different trends which are happening. Yeah, so having one trend is definitely bigger context window. One trend is these localizations, smaller models dedicated to specific tasks. And yeah, different trends like agents and else. But that's I think is really cool.
Just a couple of words of why this is useful. So what does it really mean? It means that it's a model that can process a much larger amount of information. So we can analyze larger files if we think about manuals, but also videos that we have recorded or a very high amount of images. As Peter was saying, it doesn't easily forget what has been previously discussed. So it can provide suggestions on his experience already. The process definitely gets much more efficient and improves the performance. And last but not least, they said that they managed to improve many different other aspects like generating code that could be interesting for programming the PLC, for example, technological decisions, managing multi-conversations. So maybe there are more people interacting with the tool, and then understanding audios and images as well.
Exactly. But it's not the only thing that they then also presented, right? There were many announcements on that stage. Do you want me
what
to?
Else?
Yeah. Do you want me to address the other ones as well quickly?
Mention one, and then I continue with another one.
Perfect. So what I think was cool in some ways is Project Veo, which is kind of this video generation. I mean, that's from a private understanding, it's really cool. Yeah, you can generate these cool videos. But what does this mean from an industry perspective? I think we are not yet there, but this will really enhance trainings. And I'm a big fan of augmented reality, virtual reality. So at some point in time, these generations will come into that space, these virtual spaces, and will make industry trainings really relevant and easy.
I can share a very short example later in the chat. Then something else I would like to highlight is GEMS or GEMS, which is something else that has been presented, and it's a tool to create custom versions of virtual assistants with different personalities. So in the everyday life, you could create your gym buddy, your chef, your coding partner, a writing guide. What would be your ideal one?
Well, yeah, definitely some kind of secretary, because I'm always I'm missing appointments, or I should follow up with some birthdays and things like that. I'm really bad in that. So this would help me. Kind of some prompting, some reminders of tasks and things to do, which are not in my calendar.
And then last but not least, we have Astra. And we can start by sharing a video.
Yeah, so there were many more announcements, but I think Astra really was something special. I just jump a little bit. And well, the cool thing is also from an industrial perspective, what is shown in this video basically shows that you can interact with your AI agent, and that's kind of this agent space, and ask things like he's asking there for what's that part of the speaker. Later on, what do you see here? What do you see there? But also some very interesting things. I just jump. I mean, he understands code. And one thing is important. It's all in one model. Yes, so you can interact with this one model. And here, I mean, I'll just highlight that. She asked also, hey, where did I forget my glasses?
That's
and
insane.
just this one. Yeah, I mean, it understood basically from all of what it saw where she left the glasses. Yeah, kind of this really coachy agent who supports you in your daily tasks. Wow, where did I forget that? Where did I have that? So what I just mentioned, would be really great. And you can have that on your cell phone, but also on glasses. And I think this is really something special. This will have a huge impact for maintenance topics and else. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Do you think companies, especially manufacturing companies, are ready for that?
I think they will, because if it's like the entry level is so easy and intuitive, that this is the major hurdle normally, because you need to program everything, you need to set it up. Classical AI meant that you had to train your own models with very complex data samples and models and algorithms, but now this is all included. Yeah? And so you can, of course, fine tune and give it additional information around your tools, around whatever you use, that it's really certain and highly reliable. But as such, I think because it's so much included already, it's pre-trained on these models. That's a big difference to the classical AI. Therefore, I think it's so intuitive that it will have a huge impact.
Exactly, and can be adapted in many, many different departments, from production to customer support to even the HR team, marketing, and training as well. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
So this was a very short video today. In the next episode, we will compare these two different algorithms. So there's going to be a challenge. Don't miss that, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.